we were just talking about beauty standards.
Yeah.
And what someone might refer to you as, whether it's handsome, sexy, botched.
Yeah. Well, hopefully no one's calling you botched to your face, but
Botched, butch body.
Well, here's the thing. What I was saying is that I used to teach this theory called symbolic interactionism, and it basically just says that who you are is shaped by external forces. So if you are a pretty person, you know you're pretty because people have told you you're pretty, the way people react to you, the way people behave. Pretty privilege is a real thing.
Which I then said before our producer walked out. I'm like, well, what about the people who their beauty hasn't been acknowledged? And you said...
That's not a thing, especially for women.
And then she started shaking her head.
And she said she's speaking facts.
She's speaking facts.
A pretty woman doesn't go through life not knowing she's pretty. That's just not a thing. Men have reacted in a way to let you know that they want to fuck you because you are desirable. Like, that's just true. And I think that, I mean, me and my husband have talked about this so often, that being real regular as you age is better. Because if you were hot your whole life, when you start aging and you stop getting that attention slowly dissipates, it is felt. And not to be conceited, I actually have a marker. I know when I became pretty. I had a point where I was either ugly or real regular, and then I had a glow up.
I think that a lot of gay men know this feeling, and it varies. So, like, there's this idea of twink death. And twink death could go one of two ways. It's either you're getting more muscular as you get older, or it could be twink death in terms of you just no longer can maintain twinkhood.
Yeah.
And therefore you're no longer desirable to all of the people who thought of you as like a young, skinny, attractive gay. And then beyond all of that, in gay world is a lot of gay men have glow ups late in life. So I think that for their self-esteem, a lot of it is built out of having body dysmorphia and being body dysmorphic, because even as you continue to gain traction on compliments for how you might have manipulated your body or your face or whatever through this glow up, you still feel like that ugly duckling, or you're constantly chasing
that high.
That high.
Yeah, for sure. So you actually do know what I'm talking about because you have had a glow up.
Yeah.
Right? And how do you know that you glowed up? Well, you have eyeballs, right? But you had external validation that let you know all the things that you're doing to look better is working.
One thing that is crazy, when I was like not looking the way I look now, I would still hook some pretty hot guys, which everyone growing up was like, you're handsome. But when I look back at myself, I'm like, how could you think that I was handsome?
I say that. You send me old pictures like in comparison, and I'm just like, you still looked cute to me.
And I'm just like, oh my God, like I can't imagine how somebody thought this.
Looks are just subjective though, right? So although you don't think that your old self was hot, at the time someone found you hot. They may find you hotter now, but that doesn't take away the fact that you were hot. Like, I have also experienced reverse dysmorphia, where I look back at a time where I thought I looked good and it was like, girl, what were you doing?
Interesting. I will say that I try to live presently now, and I think that I can do so with more authority, knowing that like a lot of what goes into feeling good is alignment. My mental health, like my physical health, like purpose, all of those things have to be in alignment and intentional for me to be in the best headspace. But when I feel misaligned on any of those fronts, I do look at myself and I'm like, yeah, I'm not loving what I'm seeing right now.
Well, yeah, I mean, for me, like if my light is very dim, to me, it comes across physically. Like I don't look as vibrant.
I think also, like, if you're in an anxious state, like, I really do believe, like, cortisol face or, like, any psychosomatic what's happening up here affects all of this.
Yeah. If you're depressed, how can you radiate anything?
Be glowing. Yeah. It's been hard to glow with just like the state of the world. We are both about to go get a little jolt of life.
Yes.
We're traveling.
Yes, which is my favorite thing to do in the
Your
world.
favorite thing to do. I think for me, I don't love the act of traveling itself, but like I love going to my happy places and I will endure whatever it takes to find myself there. My happy places are New York City. I love being able to hit Broadway and go to the museums and see all of my friends on the East Coast and just be with my people. I have happy places in California. Like I love going to Palm Springs and being at the pool and reading, and just generally like one of my happy places is just being in the sun by a body of water, which like can happen more frequently here than, you know, if I were in New York City. That's why I try to split my time as much as possible, which is to say, what is your happy place?
Oh, that is so interesting. So I am a person who likes to be by water and not in water. So we've talked about this, like you love to be in a pool.
Yes.
I like to be near natural bodies of water. So I love a beach. I love a lake. I love a river. I like the sound of water. I like to sleep near the sound of water. So I like to get a place on the coast. And I am going to Uruguay and Argentina. And
you added Argentina into the mix?
It was always in the mix.
Okay.
Yeah.
Is that a vacation portion?
It's a vacation portion because there's no way we can move to Argentina. Although Buenos Aires is a much bigger, more vibrant city than Montevideo, their economy is garbage. Like they have hyper inflation. But
you're saying these things like the people who correct Hawaii to Hawaii.
Okay, Uruguay and Argentina. But
Barcelona.
No, I don't say Barcelona, but I just say Barcelona. No, but you know me, I'm on my Spanish journey, so I'm going to.
You're going to do your accented work.
Yes, these places actually have very different Spanish than Mexican Spanish. So, like, instead of playa for the beach, they say playa.
And I'm not mad at it. I do want to just clarify that I just need it the other way because you know me, I'm a little dyslexic.
Yes, but I would never say Hawaii. Because I'm American and Hawaii's in America. So I just don't, for me, that's not the one-to-one. And I also don't speak Korean, so I wouldn't say however you say Korea in Korean, right? So I'm on my Spanish journey, so I say things in Spanish.
Like when the people in Italy who I studied abroad with, like when we were in Venice, they're like, I'm in Venezia.
Yeah, and you didn't like that.
I was just like, it's so performative. Like,
but if they're on their Italian journey...
They're not. I'm like, you're in Venice. Like,
okay, do you say bruschetta or bruschetta?
Well, it's actually bruschetta.
I know. What do you say?
Well, oftentimes they say it wrong. But
okay.
It is all of us saying it wrong.
I say bruschetta. I know how to say it correctly, but I don't say bruschetta.
Well, I guess that could be said about all of these things. Is someone from Hawaii hearing me say Hawaii the way I'm saying Hawaii right now would say, that is not how you pronounce it.
I understand, but we're talking about levels of things. Because before we were talking about I'm saying things with the accent, but I'm not saying bruschetta with the accent. I'm not saying bruschetta. I'm just literally putting the letters in the way you're supposed to.
You want to bring Italy into the mix?
Sure.
All right.
I don't say pistachio.
I'm bringing Italy into the mix.
Okay.
I'm bringing the motherland into this podcast right now. On Valentine's Day, global news, the Lover's Arch in Italy fell apart.
And what did that say? Talk about symbolism.
I broke up with my Italian friend on Valentine's Day.
Oh, no.
Had to be done.
What happened?
Had to be done.
What happened?
Didn't even tell you about it. It pissed me off. I was yelling on the phone.
You stay yelling on the phone.
I stay yelling on the phone. Okay, first off, before we even get into this, how many friendship breakups have you had in your life being in your 40s?
Well, I've had lots of friends that just fall by the wayside, but I've only had one breakup.
You only had one breakup?
Yeah, but where things were said and that a line was drawn, we're done. I've only had one.
Interesting. I think that a lot of my relationships, I only invest in people that I want to have lifelong relationships with, which I think I have a lot of those. So I've had more friendship breakups than any type of other breakup in my life. Friendship is the thing I've invested the most stock in throughout the entirety of my 29 years.
Yeah.
So with that, I've grown, I've learned, just like if you're a relationship person on the romantic sense, and you always have been, a lot of those people have had quite a few breakups.
That's me. I've had a lot of breakups.
You've had because your partnership is usually a one-to-one.
Yes.
In a romantic sense.
Yes.
Whereas where I derive most of my relationship pleasure from is actually in a platonic sense. Which I think, you know, put some respect on platonic relationships.
Absolutely.
I don't think we like investigate their importance enough. I think it's become more of the conversation recently.
Because of the loneliness epidemic, I think people realize you need those non-romantic relationships.
And I even just think as people find themselves being lonely in their romantic relationships, that like if you put too much stock in that, it's because you haven't diversified your pool of relationships.
Well, and like my husband said this week, when he got divorced the first time, he lost his entire friend group. And I assumed it's because all her friends were his friends. No, it's because she was his friend.
Oh my God. But the other version of that is what happens far too often. I have a friend who recently had a breakup, and she realizes none of the friends that she invested in over these past 3 years were actually her friends. They were a proxy of the benefit of being with her partner.
Yeah, yeah.
So,
But what happened with your friend?
what happened with my friend is this person is someone who I largely have come to know as being unreliable. And what I mean by unreliable is they are someone who is always on the go.
Okay.
Always on the go. They're in this place and that place. They have no home base. They come to LA. They like stay here for an extended amount of time, maybe a few weeks, and then they're off to the next place. All to say that it's really hard to keep up with them.
Okay.
And that's fine, right? That's a choice. Like I'm not demonizing that. And that unreliability is how I'm coding how they're choosing to live their life, which I can't dictate. So I would have to accept that, right? And I have accepted that. But when we do make plans, I expect you to stick to them. So when I text you midweek and say, do you want to come over on Valentine's Day at 6:30? I'll order us food. I'll get us dessert. We can have a movie night. And you say yes. As an adult, I think that you're going to be there at 6:30 since that's what we confirmed. And I'm talking about me and you. And I'm also planning this day around you. This is me considering you as a friend wanting to do something together. The day before Valentine's Day, hey, I just got back into town. I have a friend staying with me this weekend. Is it okay if they come with? Like, I guess, whatever. Like, I'll roll with the punches. But, like, how did you not know that you had
A friend staying with you
this weekend?
Yeah.
And even if that slipped your mind, maybe just say, I have a friend staying with me. If I were that friend, if I'm thinking about that friend, I wouldn't want to come to someone's Valentine's Day special occasion for you and them. I'm impeding on that. Or now she's probably selling it as, oh, he's so inclusive, which I'm like, I'm not in this regard. Like, I'm pretty rigid. Like, the plan was between me and you. That's what I was accounting for, but I'm going to roll with it. The day comes. It's like 5 p.m. Haven't heard from her, but don't need to hear from her because
You're adults. You
we're
made
adults.
plans. Yeah.
If you're supposed to get here at 6:30, I'm assuming you're getting here at 6:30. I send her what I'm about to order from this restaurant. I'm ordering from John and Vinny's. I'm ordering about $120 worth of food. I'm not asking for any money back for any of this. I'm hosting Valentine's Day dinner. And now I'm also accounting for enough food for not 2 people, but 3 people. So instead of ordering my chicken parmesan and a pasta dish that we would split, I order another pasta dish, I'm ordering a salad, I'm ordering mozzarella sticks. Does this look good to you? Does your friend have any dietary restrictions that I need to know about? Don't even know said friend's name. Get a text closing in on 6 p.m. She's supposed to be here at 6:30. Hey, I'm not going to be able to be there until 7. All of this looks good. I'm not going to be able to be there by 7 because I have someone coming to do repairs. It's Valentine's Day is on a Saturday.
Yeah.
I'm like, do you really have someone coming to do repairs randomly at 6 p.m. when we're supposed to meet at 6:30? I'm just like not following the timeline or the logic, but I'm like, we said 6:30, you're now saying 7, and you're now also bringing a friend. 30 minutes is not that egregious. At 7 p.m., I have her location, and I was watching where she was. In the hour from 6 to 6:30, she's just running around, like going to different places. I don't know what the fuck she's doing. From 6:30 to 7, she lands at a location, which I guess must be home base. At 7 p.m., she's not on the road. She's not on the road, and it takes over 30 minutes to get to me. So I text, and I said, do you want me to put the food in the fridge? She goes, yeah, you can put the food in the fridge if it's been sitting out since 6, if that's when you got it. I'll be on my way now. I'm like, on your way now?
You said you were going to be here by now.
We said 6:30. Now it's 7. You should have been here by now. You're leaving now. All to say, I'm getting into the semantics, and it is so dumb. Like, it isn't that big of a deal to be an hour late in the grand scheme of things. But what I realized is our priorities are not the same. And like time and being on time is such a priority to me, and showing up for people and saying that you're going to be there and communication. And then I call her and say like, girl, like I'm really upset. Like I'm upset. Like, because she greets me with like a cheerful, I'm on my way. And I'm like, do you not understand? Like I would have reason to be upset. And she immediately goes, I had a really tough day. I had a really busy day, and starts listing off all the things that she did that day. And I said, okay, but like, couldn't you have just given me a text and said that like you were going to be running late? Like I'm the one searching for the updates. I'm the one reaching out to you, realizing that you're not going to be here. And she goes, well, I'm sorry that I wasn't there for your little 6:30 hangout, essentially. And I'm like, okay, so you said it. My time is less valuable than yours. You're not taking into account that I've planned my day around this, that I've cleaned my home, that I've gone out and bought balloons and chocolate covered strawberries and have this food. This occasion is not a priority to you. This has been a conversation in the past with us. This is what it really hinges upon, is there isn't a whole lot of reciprocity on what I consider a priority. You don't show up for me, I'm done. Don't even come here. Don't come here with the friend who I don't even know their name, because I can't even talk to you about how I'm upset, because they shouldn't be subjected to this right now. And this is between you and me and has nothing to do with them. Go home.
And so you just didn't meet up.
We didn't meet up. And it's just the end for me.
Yeah, I mean, I will say for me, communication is really, really big, especially if you're going to disappoint me. Like, I'd rather you disappoint me in advance than wait till the last minute to disappoint me, because then I'm going to be really pissed.
That, and then as I was saying, like, this is making me upset, and these are the reasons why it makes me upset, and this is behavior that, like, we have addressed in the past. She goes, well, there's things that I want to address about your behavior that have made me feel things in the past. And I'm like, maybe that's what has informed this event for you in terms of not prioritizing it. Because anytime I've ever had a problem with you in the past, I've brought it up in real time. I don't know what you're harboring because you don't share your emotions. And then she goes, well, if you want me to get Sicilian and cunty and mad, then I can do that. And I literally said, why are you yelling right now? And she goes, well, you said you wanted to hear my emotions. I said, those are null and void at this point. You know, I'm talking about, you could have shared that at any time. You screaming that you can get Sicilian and cunty. I'm not going to listen to that now.
I'm sorry that happened, because to me, I've had, like I said, a lot of romantic breakups. I've only had one serious friendship breakup that, like, where we had it out. I can't even say we had it out because we didn't fight, but it was said that we are done. And it's as bad as a romantic breakup. And it came from a place where she was hiding things from me that she didn't have to hide from me. We were friends since we were 12 years old. And this is when I was pregnant with my second child, so I was over 30. And she lived in my house with me and my husband and Asher. So this is, how close we were. So she had worked in radio. She had worked for Steve Harvey, and she lost her job. She had filed a sexual harassment claim at work against the station manager, and she lost her job and she was suing for wrongful termination. And somehow, she still lived in a high rise in Dallas. She was driving a Mercedes. And
I love when people's lives don't make sense.
Well, and of course, being best friends, I'm like, how are you making
You're like,
this
girl,
money?
the math isn't mathing. And that's a real friend.
Well, I don't even come to people like that. It literally is just like, how are you making this money? Like, it's not even like, girl, the math isn't math. Like, I'm not even called. You know what I'm saying? It's just like, how are you making money? How are you paying your rent? How are you paying your car payment? Do you need help? Like, what's happening? And she had told me that she was acting as kind of like initial point for this bookie. So like, she was like, I work with this bookie. She was really into the nightlife, meaning she was like going to bars, like chatting up people.
A lady of the night.
But not a lady of the night. Just basically like, I'm chatty. She would always say, I'm very gregarious. I can talk to anyone.
She pulled out her thesaurus.
And she's like, I'll just chat up people and I would let them know, like, we're there watching a game and I'm like, I work for this bookie. You want to put money on this game?
Yeah.
So I was like, okay, well, that's like real hustler type mentality. That's not something I could do. And at that time, she had told me about how she had gone to Vegas and she had met these guys and who would just like slide her $500 chips because she was like their good luck charm. She's standing there and they were winning. They'd be like, oh, you're my good luck charm. She met some guy and he rented out the Real World suite that had like a basketball court in the suite and
in Las Vegas.
And I'm like, oh, girl, you're living a life. Like basically like whatever, like you're living a life. And it was me, her, and we had a third friend, my friend Juana. And Juana and her used to live together. Juana owned a house and Lisa rented a room in this house. And Juana, when everything went down, in hindsight, Juana had made me privy to some things. But anyway, so Lisa moved to LA. She lived with me and my husband and Asher. Ended up like getting her own place, living in this house in Pasadena. And like, when she came to LA, she had to drive from Texas to LA. She showed up with at the time I was like an elderly man. He was probably in his 50s, but like showed up with this man. And I'm like, who is this guy? And she's like, oh, this is my friend so-and-so. Like he didn't want me to drive alone. It's like a long drive and he's going to fly back to Dallas. Okay. So as he's leaving, he gives her like a wad of money. And he's like, take care of yourself.
I want a Mr. Monopoly.
And I'm like, who is this man? She's like, oh, he owed me money, blah, blah, blah. All this to say, it comes out through my friend Juana that she's like, no, Lisa's a prostitute. She's a high price escort. And I'm like, what? She's like,
the only way to do it.
And I'm like, what do you mean? She's like, Candace, how do you think she was living in a high rise in uptown Dallas? She's driving a Mercedes. I was like, well, she told me she's like working for this bookie. And she's like, she may have been working for a bookie, but she was also selling that coochie.
Oh my God. Wait, okay. Are you familiar with seeking arrangements?
I mean, no, but the context, yeah.
Okay, so in college, so many kids,
women,
gay men,
okay,
too, would go on seeking arrangements. And this is how I know personally of many people making money during college. One girl would get flown out to Chicago and come back to DC and take her classes post her weekend with whatever man was giving her money.
Oh my God.
Because seeking arrangements was largely for finding sugar babies.
I think that this probably started out as a sugar baby, sugar daddy situation. But as Juana told me, how Juana found out that she was an escort is one day Lisa left her laptop open in the house that they lived in together, and she saw her prostitute profile on some website. And one time, Lisa brought a couple home and Juana heard like moaning in the bedroom. And Lisa came out and was like, oh, I was throwing up. I got sick. And Juana's like, bitch, you think I'm stupid? I don't know the difference between throwing up noises and moaning noises.
It's crazy what's on the internet in terms of what you can hire. Like, there is Rent Men, which you can literally rent male models for yourself. There's like gay masseuses. I've hired one before. I'm like, if I'm going to get a massage, why not make it a happy ending? So I've partaken in the sex worker economy.
Well, and this is what bothers me the most, Bryan, is that I don't care. This is where the breakup came in. I don't care what you do with your time and how you earn money. Why are you lying to me? Ugh. We've been friends since we were 12 years old in the 7th grade. Why would you lie to me? I am so not judgmental in this way. The only thing that I'd want to know is that you're being safe and no one's going to murder you.
My one friend, if she like sniffs out a liar, she's like, you will not come into my home because I don't trust that you won't steal from me.
This is where I was. You lived with me and my husband. Like, now I could never trust you. You're hiding big information.
Yeah.
I've flat out asked you many times, how are you making money? Girl, you could have ended up dead in a ditch. I would have never known the connection. Like, this was before
Meanwhile, I have my location on my friend being like, you're making a mockery of my time. And you're like, girl, I need your location to just know that you're alive. Well, this is what I was about
to say. This is before the time of sharing one's location. This is when I had a fucking Blackberry. Girl, keep me apprised of your whereabouts so that I know that you're okay. Yeah, so I'm just, like, I'm not a judgmental person, but the most ironic thing about this whole breakup situation is I didn't break up with her. I didn't say, you're hiding things, you're a liar. I'm breaking up with you. She called me one day. She said, it's clear that you've outgrown me. Very interesting set of words. Not that we've outgrown each other.
You've outgrown me.
You've outgrown me. She said, good luck with Asher and the new one. Because I was pregnant with my daughter. Good luck with Asher and the new one.
That's a crazy mic drop.
Yeah, and it's like at that point, like I was extremely, extremely hurt, but also kind of like, fuck you. Like, go live your life. And you know what? You know how she's since gone and lived her life? If you Google her today, you can see all of her mugshots.
Oh my God. If we had emojis at that time and you could have hit her up on the Blackberry with an emoji, she would have gotten the thumbs up.
Oh my God, the Blackberry. Okay. At that time, I had a Blackberry. And can I just say, I think that the Blackberry was the peak of cell phones. We didn't need to go any further. The world would be better if we had stayed there.
No, I think about technological advancements all of the time.
Yeah.
In terms of where it should have been cut off. And it should have been cut off at a Blackberry and the iPod. Like, we should still have to download our music and, like, honestly prioritize albums versus just having every single song and snippet at our disposal with Spotify.
So my sex worker friend, one time we were in Vegas and we had met these guys and like we were just like hanging out with these guys and she like hooked up with one of them. Now in hindsight, she was probably fucking him for money. I don't know. But his friend had passed out. And like, so I was just chilling because like he was too drunk to even talk. So I'm like just waiting for them to finish their hookup. The next day, she's like, oh, the guy that I was hooking up with, he gave me this. Do you want it? It was like the top tier iPod, like the big 64,
yes.
Whatever, 64 gigabyte.
The one that only came in like black and silk.
Yes,
I know,
and it
with
was
the big screen.
With the big screen. Now, in hindsight, she probably fucking stole it from that guy. And she was like, do you want it? It had like 50,000 songs on it. This is how I discovered Adele because I had never gotten into Adele. And
she was pre-downloaded.
Well, it had Adele. Yes, it had Adele on there and I got into Adele from that. But yeah, like she was probably stealing this dude's shit and This was peak society, Bryan. This was peak society.
I know. Wait, what was your favorite phone?
My favorite cell phone was definitely my Blackberry.
Mine was my chocolate. Do you remember the chocolate?
I do.
I had the one that slid up. Couldn't figure out how to get a motherfucking song on that Verizon cell phone. And there was no point to have it otherwise.
Yeah, because we were doing ringtones back then.
But it was like the first like MP3 player
real songs.
phone.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
And I couldn't figure it out because I was just like technologically disabled at that point. LimeWire. Do you remember LimeWire?
Yes, like the illegal downloading.
Did
of
you
music.
ever use LimeWire to like get all of your iPod songs?
No, I was before LimeWire. I used Kazaa. That was pre-LimeWire and pre-Napster.
Do you remember the days of paying $1.29 for a song on iTunes?
Yeah, for sure.
Those were the days. Me and my Glee soundtracks, I would be $1.29ing it up.
Yeah, but I can remember the one song that I ever bought, like MP3 for a ringtone that I ever bought, was that song by Pharrell and Snoop Dogg. Boo!
Okay.
That song. That's the only song I think I ever paid for as a ringtone.
Do you remember the ringtone commercials with the frog?
Kinda.
It was like, I feel like you could text. I think you could text a commercial and get a ringtone.
Yeah, that sounds a little familiar.
I swear to God. I feel like commercials, since we like don't want any and we pay for everything ad free.
Yeah.
There's no art to them anymore.
They're horrible. Even the Super Bowl ones are horrible.
No one is even tracking them. Do you remember after the Super Bowl how you would Google Super Bowl commercials
Yes.
of 2019?
Yes.
Even like a few years back. Like you'd want to see what the best one. I'm not doing that Google search anymore.
No.
What was your favorite commercial growing up? Or just in your lifetime?
Okay, what are some memorable commercials? Okay, I think this may have been a Super Bowl commercial, but one of the most memorable ones was a Got Milk commercial. And it was where the guy is listening to the radio and it's like a radio contest. And the guy goes, and by the way, this was pre-Hamilton, so this was like a true trivia question. It was like, who killed Alexander Hamilton? And the guy had just bitten into a peanut butter and jelly sandwich, and he doesn't have any milk. And he's going, Aaron Burr, Aaron Burr, Aaron Burr. And they can't understand. They're like, we can't understand you because he doesn't have any milk.
Okay.
And it ends with, got milk? It was Aaron Burr. But this is pre-Hamilton, so people didn't know their historical facts. So that was like a real...
That is interesting.
Yeah, and
I have no connection to it because I don't remember it.
Okay, wait. And then another commercial that I still Google on YouTube. I still YouTube this.
Oh, really? It does it for you?
It does it for me because the music is so beautiful.
I have one.
It's a Volkswagen commercial and it's called The Wedding. And it's a guy in his Jetta trying to get to a wedding, but like he's being impeded by cows on the road. There's a train that blocks him. And he's like, you just hear this beautiful song and you see him going like he's screaming, and then he gets to the wedding and he opens the door and you see the bride at the front and there's already a groom and you don't know.
Chimed in with the haven't you people ever heard of closing a goddamn door? No.
Do they do this in this video?
No,
Does this happen at Panic at the Disco?
Is?
Panic at the Disco.
Yeah, it's All Right Sins Not Tragedies, which is about him walking in on the bride with the groomsman.
Well, in this commercial, it's kind of, you don't know what's going on because you're like, is he there to break up this wedding for her? Or is he there to break up this wedding for him? Because they both look at him kind of like, fuck.
One of my favorite commercials is a much more tender approach to love. It's an extra gum commercial. It's Haley Reinhart singing Can't Help Falling in Love, a cover of the Elvis Presley song. And I need everyone to go watch it. You will cry. You will have tears. Not only just the music, but watching this relationship unfold with extra gum essentially being like the backdrop to all of these key moments in their lives.
Interesting.
It's kind of one of those like puppy commercials that
Yeah.
like know how to pull on the heartstrings. But the most iconic commercial, the commercial of all commercials for me, was always sandwiched in between Degrassi episodes. And it started with a little jingle that went, "Get connected for free with Education Connect." The Trump University before Trump How many lawsuits do you think Education Connection has?
I don't know, but that song is iconic, and they even like create an offbeat, like it's like, if they make a song work that shouldn't work, it is incredible.
There is no one in the mid 2000s who didn't know that little jingle.
It's between that or J.G. Wentworth. I want my money and I want it now. No? You don't know about J.G. Wentworth? Yeah, no, that was also iconic. But yeah, Education Connection is absolutely iconic.
I think the most iconic commercial of recent memory is like the State Farm.
What State Farm?
Like, is this blah, blah, blah from State Farm? Or like, you know, when they think that they're cheating, or like, and it's
Jake from State.
Yeah.
Where the guy is like talking on the phone, State Farm, and the wife is like, "Who are you talking to?" And he's like, "It's Jake from State Farm," and she's like, "Hi, Jake from
yeah. I feel like that's been like that's a new iconic commercial in recent memory.
Yeah, I guess so. I mean,
still old.
Yeah,
but
it's
like,
still old.
It's newer.
Wait, okay. We're like way late talking about this, but do you remember any of the commercials from this Super Bowl? Because I only remember one.
I didn't watch it.
Oh, the Mike Tyson one, where Mike Tyson, it's a Maha commercial, Make America Healthy Again.
Oh, no.
And he was like, when I was younger, I used to weigh 350 pounds or whatever. And he was like, I was fat and disgusting. Like,
I went to college with Mike Tyson's son.
Oh, really?
Amir Tyson.
Oh.
And my friend tackled him on the lawn one day and tried to make out with him.
Oh.
She was drunk out of her mind.
Okay.
What's your favorite drunk story?
Oh, God, I have so many. I don't know if I have any favorite drunk stories, but I was in those streets, and I will just say, I am a good drunk person. I am not an annoying drunk person.
Okay, let me ask you this. I've only blacked out once in my life and learned my lesson.
I've blacked out twice.
What was your blackout?
I've blacked out once at home, but I've blacked out once in public.
And do you have a story from it?
No, just that I was at this place called Cafe Brazil, which was this like after 24-hour diner. And it was a place that we would go to after drinking. And I went in the bathroom and I got on the floor and like fell asleep head on the toilet, blacked out, and they had to get the key because I wasn't opening the door.
Oh my gosh.
And to get like my friends to come get me.
Okay, that's pretty iconic, though.
Yeah.
I will say, I think that, like, you oftentimes have to have a blackout story in order to learn to never get there again. I think it's insane when people have many blackout stories.
Called alcoholism.
It's called alcoholism. Literally once, and it was high school graduation. I was at my best friend Alyssa's graduation party. We were all drinking. And I remember I had just gotten in a huge blowout fight with my mom. And I had a whole thing of Sveka mango pineapple. It comes in this bright orange and like yellow gradient bottle. And I get there to Alyssa's graduation party. And may he rest in peace, this kid named Brian Hoff, who was always this like great protector of me. He was like, just like a guy's guy, but like with me being different than all of the other guys that I grew up with because I was gay, he always like would just come to my defenses for anything. Like I remember graduating 8th grade and we sat next to each other because it was based on height. And he realized that I was getting upset because I didn't get any academic awards. And he was like, this one's yours, BT Dubs. They're like, this next one's going to be you. Just to like cheer me on.
Aww.
That's who he was. He unfortunately passed away from cancer.
Oh my God.
Very young. And I mean, I'm only 29. So may he rest in peace. But he's a large part of my coming out story because I got there and I was pissed off. And he goes, you can't be pissed off, BT Dubs. Like, you need to party. You need to have a good time. So he hands me a red Solo cup. I said, all right, I'm going to have a good time. I pour the mango Svetka pineapple vodka into this red Solo cup. I don't pour anything else into it. I pour it to the top of this cup. I said, I'm going to drink this. It was a time in teenagers' lives of You won't.
Yeah, daring.
Yeah, you won't. You won't. Said, I won't. Watch me. Downed it.
Ugh.
Downed it. Down the hatch. To the point where later in this night, at Alyssa's graduation party with her parents, they had their sprinkler out. I had the sprinkler in between my legs, looking her dad in the face, saying that I was wetting my coochie. I was jumping over the fence into our neighbor's pool, came out to everyone, gave everyone this like beautiful soliloquy on what they've meant to me and how they are all important and how they all have to go do great things and that they need to reach their potential. I'm carted back home with like a few friends at the time. My friend Sam is driving us in her Volkswagen. And they want to go to a gas station to pick up, there's like 3 other people in the back. And they want to go to a gas station to pick up a Dutch, like to have a blunt. Like, do you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah,
like,
of course.
Okay. Like, do you know what a Dutch is? So she had a cup in her car. This bitch did not care about smoking and driving. Like, she just would do whatever she wanted to do. She had a Dutch gut cup in her car, so like where she would gut the Dutch, and I took it and I was like, I need to pee really badly. So I'm in this car in the front seat and I'm like, I'm gonna pee into this red Solo cup of Dutch guts. And she's like, honestly, go for it, just don't spill. And I'm like, I won't. I'm blacked out. I piss in this cup and I drop it and the pee starts seeping into the back seat, and everyone in the back seat is like, no. She gets out of her car as it was like being put into drive and is like, get the fuck out, get the fuck out. And they're like, you can't leave him at the gas station. Like, he's not okay. We are next door neighbors. There is only one house that divides us. Like, we grew up right next to one another. She's like, get your ass inside, get out of my car. She drops me off at home and they're about to go drive around and go smoke this Dutch somewhere else without me. I'm wailing. I'm like, don't leave me behind, because mind you, the reason that got me into this state to begin with was because I left this home and did not want to go back to it. So I end up running over to her porch. I don't remember any of this.
Yes, I'm like, did you only know this because people have told you?
Yes.
Yeah, okay.
Yes. I don't remember any of this. I wake up, she had a porch, like a front door porch, and it had a porch swing. Her dad comes out as she's coming in like hours later, and he's going to work, and they both see me collectively together sleeping on this porch swing, throw up covering the entire porch. They wake me up. They're like, they're just trying to get me inside. They know that I'm obviously not well. They're like, Bryan, you want to know what I say to this man?
What?
I stare at him. I said, tell me a secret. And they said, what was that? And I said, tell me a secret. And I don't know what happened after that, but that was what I was told the next morning when I woke up on the couch, and I was informed that I pissed in her car, that I asked her dad for a secret, but I was also like still giggling because guess who was still fucking drunk?
All to say, maybe you are an annoying drunk, unlike me.
I definitely created some annoyances for other people being blacked out, but I have never not been in control of my body. I've been drunk, but I've gotten myself to bed and I've been able to handle myself getting to a toilet to throw up. No one has ever had to make me their responsibility ever again.